time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Sportsnet LA presents the Dodgers as they take on the Cincinnati Reds. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Monday evening to you, wherever you may be. We open up Dodger Stadium for a very quick 3-game homestand. Then the Dodgers move right out and hit the road, going to New York and also Chicago. In the meantime, the Dodgers open up the brief homestand against the Cincinnati Reds. They have a 6-game winning streak against the Reds, hanging over from last year. But the Dodgers still come home, having lost 4 out of 5 on the road. They're in third place, 4.5 games behind the Giants, who will be playing 3 games with San Diego. Dodgers then going after the long road trip with New York and Chicago, trying to get well at home once again. And the Giants will be on the road. They'll be playing Colorado, Atlanta, and St. Louis. On the mound tonight, Clayton Kershaw with a great record of 6-1. However, 2-2 against Cincinnati. The Dodgers have won 8 of his 9 starts, and he has those remarkable numbers, 88 strikeouts and only 4 walks. On the mound for Cincinnati, a bonus pick for Kansas City by the name of Brandon Finnegan. He was traded to Cincinnati for Johnny Cueto. Brandon with a record of 1-2. The Reds have lost his last 6 starts. So those are some of the numbers. We'll have more to talk about and a big ball game coming up and a whole lot more after this. Monday evening to you, wherever you may be. The Dodgers have come home playing 28 innings in the last 2 games in San Diego. They would have loved to have had a Monday day off, but it's not to be. So they go to Clayton Kershaw to try and give the bullpen a rest. The Dodger pen has pitched 12 innings in their 17-inning marathon, 26 innings in their past 5 games. So they look to Clayton to give them a bunch of innings and pretty much a day off. For Cincinnati, we'll take a look now at Brian Price's lineup. And the skipper for the Reds starts off with Zach Cozart, then speedy Billy Hamilton in center, Joey Votto at first base, and Brandon Phillips at second. Jay Bruce in right, Adam Duvall in left field, Jordan Pacheco at third, Tucker Barnhart behind the plate, and Brandon Finnegan on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw. He has a 4-game winning streak. He has 6 victories and 1 loss. You have to go back to a couple of years. He is 2-2 lifetime against the Reds. Clayton has a little more trouble with the National League Central than with the East or the West. He is 23-18, just above 500 in the Central. He has dominated the West, and he's done very well against the East. So Clayton with a remarkable combination. 88 strikeouts and 4 walks, going to work on Zach Cozart. Zach out of Memphis, Tennessee. First ball swinging, hits a bullet down the left field line into the corner. Cozart on his way for 2, and the throw will come in from Hernandez to the shortstop Corey Seager. So Zach Cozart doesn't wait any time. He just walks up and bangs the first pitch, and he hit it hard into the left field corner. The Reds, of course, have a lot going for them. I mean, after all, they are professionals. They have great pride. They would love to upset Kershaw and also get rid of a 7-game losing streak. Another note about the Reds, they have won only 3 games on the road. So here is Billy Hamilton, the speedster, probably the fast man in baseball right now. Kershaw looks back at second. Hamilton shows bunt, takes ball 1, and a 1-0 count. Hamilton in the minor leagues at Dayton a couple of years ago stole 103 bases, then moved up to Bakersfield and stole 104. So he is lightning on the base paths. Right-hander drops it down easily. Turner picks it up to throw him out, and on the play Cozart advances to third. So Hamilton moves his man along. We'll take a look at the Dodgers defensively, and they shape up this way. Gonzalez and Kendrick, Seager and Turner. In the outfield, Hernandez in left, Thompson in center, Puig in right. A.J. Ellis, who caught the 17 yesterday, behind the plate. And on the mound is buddy Clayton Kershaw. So the infield is up with 1 out. On the double, the sacrifice, and there is Votto. Joey hitting only .217 against Clayton Kershaw. He does have 2 home runs against him, and he has 5 hits. So he has a double and 2 home runs, 3 of the 5. Trying to pick up Cozart from third. 1 out, and we are just starting. Votto, left-hand hitter, takes a look at the next pitch in the dirt. 2-0 the count. Votto is one of the 12 active players with a .300 career batting average. You start with Miguel Cabrera at .321, and you get to Joey Votto at .307. 2 balls, no strikes. Votto at one time was a terror against left-hand pitching, but not so much anymore. Kershaw back, fastball in at the knuckles for ball 3. Joey Votto has a career batting average against left-handers of .294. However, struggling this year, Joey is hitting only .167 against left-handers. So 3-0 the count. Votto waiting with a runner at third and 1 out. Kershaw out of that stretch, now set at the belt, and the 3-0 pitch coming up. Votto takes a strike, about letter high inside part of the plate. Joey was born in Toronto, Canada. He still lives up in Ontario. an all-star, and for a very good reason. Very quiet, very humble, hates to talk about himself, but he's had a marvelous career. First came up to the Reds in 2007. 3-1 pitch, fouled away. 3-2 the count. Before 2012, the Reds thought so highly of Joey Votto, they signed him to a 12-year deal. His contract over $251 million. So Joey has certainly found a home in Cincinnati. Kershaw checking Cozart down the line from third. And the 3-2 pitch to Joey Votto. Kershaw delivers, line drive at Seager. And with the infield up, boy, that thing was a bullet. So Votto drills it, but right at Corey Seager. 2 down. Seager actually staggered. The ball was hit hard. He staggered back out on the dirt. So 2 out, a runner at third. And here's Brandon Phillips, who has always enjoyed a good time against Kershaw, if that's possible. Brandon hitting .360. He has 9 hits, a double, and a home run in the past. For the year, Brandon hitting .250. So Kershaw fortunate. The line drive found a home. And the first pitch to Brandon, right-hand batter, swung on and missed 0-1. Brandon Phillips had an odd play in the 7th inning against the Indians. He turned a nasty slider into a single to left field, but it wasn't the single that was remarkable. He actually hit the ball twice. Yep, twice struck batted ball for a base hit. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way to Brandon, swung on, big chopper wide at third. Turner is on it and throws him out. So despite the first pitch whacked for a double and a good bunt by Hamilton to put a runner at third, Kershaw gets out of the inning without a strikeout, by the way, and at the end of half an inning, no score. So we go to the bottom of the first inning, and we'll take a look at Dave Roberts' lineup. It'll be Kike Hernandez opening up in left field, Justin Turner at third, Adrian Gonzalez at first, Howie Kendrick hits cleanup at second base. Trace Thompson is in center, Corey Seager at short, Yasiel Puig in right field, A.J. Ellis behind the plate again, and Clayton Kershaw on the mound. On the mound for the Reds, Brandon Kyle Finnegan, born in Fort Worth, still lives there. First round pick by the Royals and traded to Cincinnati for Johnny Cueto. Finnegan ready, left hands the first pitch, and a towering pop fly to center. Out there is Billy Hamilton waiting and makes the catch for the out. So let's take a look at the Reds defensively with Votto and Phillips on one side, Cozart and Pacheco on the other, Duvall, Hamilton, and Bruce in the outfield, Barnhart behind the plate handling Brandon Finnegan. So 1 pitch and 1 out. And the batter now, Jerry Turner. Turner trying to perk up, but he's still only hitting .232. Did very well last year against the Reds. Hit .342, but again, that was last year. Finnegan's pitch missing, and a 1-ball, no strike count. Turner trying to get something started in the first inning. Left-hander ready and comes back 1-0. The fastball for a strike, and the count 1-1. Dodgers are 5-6 against left-hand starters here, and they're facing a left-hander. It has a rather odd note about it. The fact that in 2014 he became the first. We'll tell you why. The 1-1 pitch hit down the right field line, foul and out of play. In 2014, Brandon Finnegan, who went to school at Texas Christian, he became the first player to play in 2 World Series in 1 year. One was the College World Series, and the other was the big one when he was with the Royals. The left-hander ready, and the 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled away. Turner hit by his own foul ball, trying to walk it off. Justin not quite ready. So we have a chance to chat with you a little bit about Brandon. His father Gary pitched at DCU. He was very good, but an arm injury halted his career. So his son followed him to TCU, and he's ready to go to work. He signed a deal with the Royals for $2.2 million. That's how high they were thinking of him. So he might have a very fine career. Just starting out. 1-2 pitch is lifted to right field. Starting in and jamming on the brakes is Jay Bruce as the ball comes to him. So 2 fly balls in the first inning, 2 down, and the batter Adrian Gonzalez. It is certainly a truism about baseball. It is not a young man's game. It is certainly not an old man's game, but it is a strong man's game. So if you can play 28 innings, 11 at night, come right back for 17, you have it, strength, and that's what it's all about. The first pitch to Adrian, in for a strike, and the count 0-1. So Brandon Finnegan ready to go to work. They have the shift on the right side. Brandon Phillips, the middleman. Cozart and Pacheco moving over. And Adrian Wade. Finnegan ready. Here he comes. Fastball fouled off to the left, and a good fastball it was at 94. We've never seen Brandon Finnegan before. He's 5'11", a 200-pounder, born in 1993. So he's just starting out. 23 years old, the middle of April. He was an outfielder in high school, and he's a pretty good hitter. Breaking ball is just off the plate. Finnegan, just the 3rd player in Kansas City history to reach the majors the same year he was drafted. Bo Jackson was another one. Little roller to the right side. The middleman is Brandon Phillips, who kicks it. I mean, your 6-year-old could have handled that one. But to err is human, and Phillips, embarrassed, allows Kendrick to come up. Of course, remember, this is a team that's won 3 games on the road. They find ways to lose. That's all there is to it. And Phillips has always been a solid player for the Reds, but he commits a childish error. Best he can do is smile it off. And here's Howie Kendrick. Kendrick swinging a hot bat. Howie checks in. Here comes Finnegan. Fastball down and away. Ball 1, 1-0. We were talking about Kansas City drafting and going right to the big leagues. Bo Jackson and Jeff Granger. Here's the 1-ball, no strike count. Finnegan set, looks at first, now to the plate. Fastball in there at 93. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. It looks like we have a mountain of clouds back of right field. I mean, not a cloud here and a cloud there. A solid lineup. Interesting. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball down and away. Swung on and missed. And the count 1-2. So Kendrick with Gonzalez aboard on the error. And of course, for Brandon Phillips, an embarrassing play, especially for a 4-time Gold Glove winner. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Low and inside. 2-2. What kind of a kid is Brandon Finnegan? When, well, he was 10 years old, he sensed that his father sensed he had a lot of athletic ability, but one day before an all-star game, he complained to his dad that he had a sore foot. 2-2 pitch on the way. Finnegan delivers. Breaking ball, misses, ball 3. And his dad said, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is it? Brandon said about a 6. Well, do you think he can play if we tape it up? Yeah. He played, had 3 hits. Next day they found out his foot was broken. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There goes Hernandez. The pitch is high for ball 4. So Gonzalez moves along. Kendrick draws the walk. And the batter is Trace Thompson.
21, Trace Thompson.
Trace Thompson hitting .280, 7 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Has done very well at home, batting .341. So many Dodgers have struggled at home and done very well on the road. He's the other way around. So 2 out, 2 on, no score, first inning. Finnegan out of a stretch. Stocky left-hander ready, comes to his hitter and gets a strike, and the count 0-1. No score in the first inning. When the Royals made the deal to get Johnny Cueto, they got Brandon Finnegan, John Lamb, and Cody Reed. Brandon ready, and the strike 1 pitch on the way, swung on and fouled off on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. If you broke down the stuff that Finnegan brings to the mound, he has that hard sinker. Then he has a 4-seamer that's been clocked as high as 98. Curveball is being developed. It's not much yet. Pretty good slider. And a very impressive changeup. So Finnegan hides the ball back of his left hand. 2 men on, 2 out, first inning, no score. Brandon ready. Here he comes, and it's swung on. Ground ball to short. The shovel to second for the out, and that's the inning. So no runs, no hits, an error by Phillips, a walk, and 2 left. And at the end of an inning, no score. in the ball game. Clayton Kershaw, Brandon Finnegan. Kershaw, 88 strikeouts, 4 walks. That translates to a ratio of 22. That would be tops. Phil Hughes, Brett Saberhagen, Cliff Lee, Kurt Schilling. First ball, and the Reds apparently being very aggressive. Ground ball to Adrian, and just like that, Bruce taps out. So that must be the Reds' chance. Don't go up there and get in a hole against Kershaw. Try and get him on the first pitch. Cozart began the day hitting the first pitch for a double, but they couldn't get him home. Adam Duvall, who at one time was with the Giants, he was a shaky defensive third baseman, and the Giants eventually traded him. And it's interesting, even tonight, the shakiness showed up in the lineup. Kershaw's down and away, ball 1. He was originally, as a smiling Phillips, still laughing, I'm sure, over kicking a ground ball that his son could have caught. 1 ball and no strikes. Kershaw comes back, and it's swung on and missed. Duvall losing his hat. So we were talking about Duvall being a shaky third baseman, and when the lineup came out, they had him at third base, and then just before the game started, they said, no, he's in left field. So the 1-1 pitch on the way. Adams swings, pulls it down the left field line, hooking foul, and back into the lower deck. Duvall has to fight it as his manager, Bryce Pierce, looks on. Duvall has diabetes. He has to be very careful. He's 27 years old, lives in Louisville. A couple of years ago, he was 220, and he lost weight to 200. He swings, doesn't get it, and there is the first strikeout for Clayton Kershaw. Adam Duvall going down swinging. It was a big, slow breaking ball, and he tried to get it, couldn't do it. Jordan Pacheco now checking in. Pacheco had been listed in left field, and they've moved him in. Struggling, hitting 187. A couple of years ago, he had 309 when he was with the Rockies. And he takes inside, ball 1. Gordon's out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, went to the university, was a 9th round pick by Colorado. Jordan Patrick Pacheco. The 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Pacheco, 6'1", about 190. Idolized Cal Ripken Jr. when he was a kid. It's a fly ball to shallow left. TK is there, however, to make the catch. Very easy inning. Kershaw picks up 1 strikeout. So at the end of 2 innings, he has 1. And at the end of an inning and a half, no score. Just finishing her dinner, and a prince right alongside of her. How great to see the little ones, huh? Meanwhile, bottom of the second, no score. Brandon Finnegan getting ready to work to Seager, Puig, and Ellis in that order. Finnegan with a record of 1-2. The Reds have lost his last 6 starts, but that puts him in good company. You know who also had a 6-game losing streak for the team when he started this year? Matt Cain of the Giants. Seager, a line drive backhanded by Votto, gets up and makes the catch. Joey went down on one side to stay with the sinking line drive, and a nice play to get Seager one away. And the batter now, Yasiel Puig. Puig had some troubles yesterday, but not when he came up, got a high fastball, singled up the middle, drove in 2 to break the tie, and the Dodgers finally won in 17 innings. So Yasiel checking in, 1 down, A.J. Ellis on deck. It was Ellis yesterday who bunted him to third, but Yasiel said he was confused and stood at second. So he takes ball 1, 1-0. So Puig facing Finnegan. Brandon Kyle, left-hander, set at the belt. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball foul back, and the count 1-1. Puig is really struggling here in Dodger Stadium. He's hitting 184 here in the ballpark. That sinking fastball, the Sioux-Seamer, he's been throwing it about 72% of the time. 1-1 pitch, there's another one, and it's fouled off, and the count 1-2. When Finnegan made his major league debut, he pitched 2 perfect innings back in 2014. He began the year with a record of 5-3, and he is 1-2 coming into this game. A good young pitcher, slowly developing. The pitch to Puig reached for that looked like it was out of the zone. He just did get a little bit of it. So Yasiel, a little annoyed, frustrated at himself for going after that pitch. So he's fortunate he got a little bit of it anyway. All right, Puig back up. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Second inning, no score. Finnegan ready. Here he comes. High fastball, swung on and missed, and down goes Puig. So whatever the magic he has, if he has any at all now, it certainly is disappearing here at Dodger Stadium. High fastball, down he goes. First strikeout for Finnegan, and the batter A.J. Ellis. A.J. caught all 17 yesterday, had 3 walks, hitting .215. And the first pitch down and away, ball 1. I don't know the number offhand, but I remember Yadier Molina caught a game like 20 innings at night and came right back to catch the next day. So they can do it. The 1-0 pitch taken for a strike, and the count 1-1. With half the gear on, Yasmani Grandal has the mitt. He'll go out and warm up catches. He's also wearing shin guards, but he'll warm up pitches in between innings. Next pitch in for a strike, and the count 1-2. Grandal has a bad ankle, so if he couldn't play, well, it looks like he could, and A.J. got hurt, the backup catcher would be Yasiel Puig. Now that would be something to see. And the next pitch popped up on the right side. Joey Votto is there waiting and makes the catch. So the Dodgers go quietly in the second inning, although a bullet off the bat of Seager and a fine defensive play by Joey Votto. And at the end of 2, no score.
Ladies and gentlemen, AFP has
4 in the ball game. For the Reds, it'll be Tucker Barnhart, then Brandon Finnegan, and the top of the order, Zach Cozart. Well, if there's one thing that appears to be planned, the Reds going after Kershaw's first pitch. So we'll see about Tucker Jackson Barnhart out of Indianapolis, lives in Zionsville, Indiana. Switch hitter, and he'll check in batting right-handed. Reds signed him back in 2009, and he came up 2014. Takes a pitch off the plate. Ball 1. 1-0 to Tucker. Mesoraco was the #1 catcher for the Reds, but he was injured, so Barnhart has a big opportunity, and he takes the next pitch low. 2 balls and no strikes to Tucker. Kershaw gave up a leadoff double in the first inning. He has 1 strikeout, and he's facing his 8th batter. 2-0 pitch on the way, swung on, ground ball up the middle, base hit. So Kershaw, at least in the beginning, is not the domineering pitcher that he normally is. Base hit by Barnhart, and that'll break up Finnegan. A reminder, Wednesday at 7:10, Dodgers and Reds. First 40,000 in attendance receive an Adrian Gonzalez big hit celebration bobblehead presented by Time Warner Cable. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. So Barnhart at first. We're looking for a bunt from Finnegan. He shows bunt, pulls back the bat, and takes low. Ball 1. 1-0. Billy Hatcher coaching at third. Freddie Benavides over at first. 1 ball and no strikes. Kershaw again staring over at first. The 1-0 pitch is a strike. Finnegan pulling the bat back. Remember, he was an outfielder, so it could be they could very well take the bunt off. He's a pretty good hitter. So Barnhart at first, nobody out. 3rd inning. The left-hand hitter facing Kershaw. Throw to first, and Barnhart back to the bag. The Reds have not been able to win on the road. They have won 3 games on the road. So for Brian Price, that's something he really wants to change in a hurry. Here's the 1-1 pitch coming up to Brandon Finnegan. Again, he shows bunt and bunts and gets it down. Picked up by Ellis, who throws to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. It was going to be a close play at second, but I think AJ, who is very intelligent, realized that's a catcher running. He went after him and got him. So Finnegan bunts into a force play. And with 1 out, the batter will be Zach Cozart. So Finnegan avoids the double play. Cozart hit the first pitch of the game and blistered it down the left field line for a double. Cozart leads the team and ranks 10th in the league. Came in here hitting .323 and looks at ball 1. 1-0. Cozart has hit safely in 28 of his 38 appearances, including a 10-game hitting streak. With a base hit tonight, Cozart now has 500 hits in his career. The 1-0 pitch on the way in the dirt. Nice block by Ellis, but new ball put in play. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, you've got to be strong to play this game, and you have to be extra strong to be a catcher. Kershaw staring in. Cozart aggressive, doing very well, and waiting. The 2-0 pitch on the way to Zach is taken for a strike. 2-1 the count. Cozart not happy with the call. Cozart with speedy Billy Hamilton hitting back of him. Kershaw looks over at first at Finnegan, and with 1 out, the 2-1 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. Cozart really establishing himself now as one of the better players in the league. He came up in 2007. He's the fellow who went to the University of Mississippi and bleached his hair for 3 years. A rich blonde. He got teased into doing it by a teammate. He would get the hair bleached 2 or 3 times each session to get it the right color. Ah, yes, there's hair, and then there is more hair. One of the members of the Three Musketeers. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off, so Cozart is still there. Cozart, a couple of years ago, back in 2008, playing in a minor league game. He was with Dayton. They were playing Peoria. He was beamed, and they had a full-scale brawl. For several hours after the beating, Cozart had blurred vision, but it cleared up the next day. 2-2 pitch on the way, and that swung on. Little chopper to third. Turner on the run, throws and gets him. Down to second base goes Finnegan, and with 2 out, Billy Hamilton will be coming up.
Number 6, Billy Hamilton.
So Billy Hamilton trying to pick up Brandon Finnegan. Hamilton is from Taylorville, Mississippi. They have a population there of about 1,300. Now, what makes Taylorsville so different? They do not have a single traffic light. So Billy the Wisp, 6'1", maybe 160 pounds, and takes a look at the first pitch, in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Billy, who in his own words grew up in a very rough neighborhood. Believe it or not, he played a lot of football, catching a lot of passes. Strike 1 pitch. Billy starts to swing, doesn't, takes a strike. 0-2 the count. He's kind of laughing at himself. That pitch really tied him up. The old story, didn't know whether to fish or cut bait. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Billy had a sandwich named after him, so that's a sign of a budding star. That was when he was with the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. What was it? Ham and cheese. 9 pieces of ham, 6 pieces of cheese, sold with a sweet potato, and put it all together. Cost you $8. Wow. 0-2 to Billy. Fastball is low and away. Ball 1. Remember, he had that pro stolen base record with 155 steals. That was back in 2013. Trying to pick up Finnegan at second, 2 out. The 1-2 pitch to Hamilton, swung on and fouled away. In 2013, Billy Hamilton started a game. He reached base 5 times with 3 hits. He had 4 stolen bases and 2 runs scored. So he's that kind of a player. He can take a game in his own hands and run with it. 1-2 to Billy. Kershaw ready, set. Here he comes in the dirt, blocked nicely by Ellis, and Finnegan holding. Billy Hamilton struck in with a bang. The first major league player since the live ball era, that means 1920, to record 4 stolen bases in his first start. Because if you go back to 2005, the Reds had a fleet-footed guy named Ryan Friel. He stole 5 bases against the Dodgers. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Billy swings, pulls it on the ground, backhanded by Turner, makes the play, and that's that. It is interesting, though, we have 3 innings in the books. Kershaw has 1 strikeout. At the end of 2.5 innings, no score. Of the third inning, Dodgers and Reds. Game one of a 3-game series on a beautiful evening. No wind and very comfortable in the stands. Brandon Finnegan going up against Clayton Kershaw. We can tell you the Padres at San Francisco. No score in the third inning. Drew Pomeranz pitching for San Diego. Johnny Cueto, who is 6-1 with a great earned run average of 2.6. He's on the mound for the Giants. Finnegan ready to go to work against Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw pinch hit yesterday. Grounded out, but got his man over to third. Hitting 200. Finnegan ready. Brandon delivers on the inside corner for a strike, and the count 0-1. Finnegan has pitched better in relief than as a starter. Here's his strike one pitch. Good slow curveball. Kershaw committed. He already was striding into the pitch and he was locked. With 2 out, men in scoring position, they're hitting .098 against Finnegan. Strike 2, breaking ball away. However, as a starting pitcher, he's allowed 14 home runs. With 1 strike, he has some problems as Kike Hernandez waits on deck. He has given up 9 home runs, all to right-hand batters. Finnegan ready in the 1-2 pitch. Clayton swings and bangs it into right center for a base hit. So Kershaw hangs in against a left-hander and singles to right center. For Clayton, that's his first hit of the night, and it's the only hit for the Dodgers right now. So Kike Hernandez, who flied to center, is on deck. Now he checks in, hitting 198. One of the interesting things about Finnegan would be the count and what results. Here's the first pitch to Kike, breaking ball low, ball 1. If the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike, batters are hitting .591 against him. But it goes to 1 and 2, they're hitting .136. Here's the 1-0 pitch, fastball in there. Okay, here's the count, just like we ordered. 1-1 to count. This next pitch extremely important to Finnegan. Kershaw short lead at first. Finnegan delivers, fastball in there. Okay, now with a 1-2 count, if Hernandez offers on it, batters are hitting .136. 3 hits in 22 at bats. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Finnegan looks at Kershaw. Curveball is lifted into shallow left center. A trio of Reds. It's the middleman, Billy Hamilton, making the catch. So there you have it. That was a perfect illustration of what's going on with Finnegan.
Justin Turner.
So 1 away. The Cincinnati Reds. You know, the Cincinnati area has 2 million people, and it's remarkable year in and year out how well the Reds have played. A small town team, and since 2006 they have the best record in the National League. 45 wins, 23 losses. So Hernandez pops it up. Here's Turner, and Justin takes low, ball 1, 1-0. Turner, whatever the pattern is, from the first inning through the 6th, he's hitting 153. Here's the 1-0 pitch, taken low, ball 2. But from the 7th inning on, he's hitting 400. It's as if an alarm clock goes off, and all of a sudden, he's a different hitter. 2-0 the count. Kershaw at first, 1 out, no score. 3rd inning, Adrian Gonzalez on deck. Reds no runs, 2 hits. Dodgers no runs, 1 hit. And the possessor at first base, Clayton Kershaw. Now the next pitch swung on, fouled away. 2-1. Another interesting comparison. We were talking about Justin Turner. How about the pitcher, Brandon Finnegan? The hitters against Finnegan on the road, they're hitting 182. At home, they're hitting 279. 2-1. Brandon ready. Here he comes. The pitch is low. So he's 3-1 to Justin Turner. Meanwhile, Adrian Gonzalez just waiting. Reached on an error by Brandon Phillips in the first inning. Turner waiting. Clayton a short lead. 1 out. 3-1 pitch swung on. Ground ball is short. The flip to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. So Turner kills 2 with the ground ball to short. No run. 1 hit. Nobody left. And at the end of 3, no score. You buy the Dodge Challenger. Test drive one at your local Dodge dealer today. And by Carl's Jr., the $4 real deal. 4 items for just $4 at Carl's Jr. 4th inning, no score in the ball game. A look back. Crosley Field. You know what appears to be a shadowy area? Look at the left fielder, and you can see a shadowy area. That's actually a small hill up there. And many players had a lot of trouble going up there to the what they call the terrace on top of that little hill and making the catch. There was one player they spent a long time teaching him to go up the hill, and then in the game a ball was hit and he got up the hill perfectly, then tried to make a throw stepping down the hill, took a dramatic heavy and came in later on and said, what a lot of brains we have on this club. Everybody taught me how to go up the hill. Nobody explained going down the hill. Yeah, the terrace in Crosley was something. Meanwhile, Joey Votto, the kid from Canada, checking in. Johnny Bench and Joey Votto have the most 3 home run games in Reds history, and they both did it 3 times. Many Reds have had 3 home run games. No one has ever hit 4 in a game. So Joey up there now, 1 ball and 1 strike. He had a line drive with the infield up. It staggered Corey Seager, but he held on to it. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's in the dirt. We're in the 4th. No runs, 2 hits for the Reds. No runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. The interesting thing, certainly through 3, Clayton Kershaw has 1 strikeout. Given up 2 hits. No runs. Joey struggling against left-handers so far this year. Takes off the plate. For instance, 2009 he hit 329. 2011 he hit 333. Last year he hit 331 against left-handers, but comes into the game hitting 167. Swings, fouls it away, and the count 3-2. Joey, as we mentioned, one of 12 active players hitting 300 in his career. So Votto, 6'3", 220, really put well together. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Check swing on a pitch inside, ball 4. So Votto held the bat back. The pitch missed the corner.
Number 4, Brandon Phillips.
Though it makes headline news tonight. Kershaw has 1 strikeout, and he now walks a man. That's news when you've had 88 strikeouts, technically 89, with 4 walks. So here's Phillips, grounded to third in the first inning, has done well against Kershaw. He was hitting 9 for 25. That would be a .360 batting average against Clayton. Votto at first, nobody out, no score. Clayton ready, comes to the plate, swung on, little slow roller to Seager. He's on the bag for 1 and doubles Phillips up. So Phillips hits into the double play, 6-3, and just like that, 2 down.
Number 32, Jay Bruce.
Jay Bruce coming up. Nice easy DP started by Seager. Jay Bruce rounded out to Adrian Gonzalez. They put up the shift again on him. He's just about over being angry about it. He takes ball 1. But Bruce is saying that they shift more on him than ever. He's faced the shift in the first 89 plate appearances 78 times. Almost 88% of the time. The 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Last year they put the shift on Jay 55%. He hit .282 against the shift so far this year. 1-2 the count. Last year .265. So he's seeing the shift a lot, and he's doing pretty well. He has 2 home runs against Kershaw in the same game, but he's done on this one. So down go the Reds. The double play broke the back of the inning, and at the end of 3.5, no score. Ball is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Cricket, something to smile about. Another happy family here in the ballpark. Mom and Dad. The son, the younger of the two children, very happy in Mom's lap. And the older daughter waving to the fans. And here's Adrian Gonzalez, ball one. Adrian hit a routine ground ball. And Brandon Phillips kicked it, thoroughly embarrassed. 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on, 1-1. You know, earlier I was talking about A.J. Ellis catching 17 innings yesterday and coming right back. And I mentioned, and it was really cloudy, but I mentioned the fact I thought Yadier Molina caught a 20-inning game and then came right back. Ball two. Well, Brian Hagan, as usual, comes up with it. On April the 17th, 2010, Yadier Molina caught 20 innings. Came right back the next day, caught 9. Fly ball deep to left, but it looks playable, and Duvall is there to make the catch. And on the 19th, he came back. So Yadier Molina in 3 days, from day to 2 nights, caught 38 innings. Yep, you got to be strong. So one away. Here's Howie Kendrick, walked in the first inning. Fastball fouled away. 0-1. Brandon Finnegan doing a good job so far. He's allowed 1 hit, and that was to Kershaw. One ball and 1 strike. Tucker Barnhart really moving around. He was way inside, which is one reason why that pitch was up and in. See what Barnhart does this time. He's going to be a little away. Pitch is high. 2-1. Brandon Finnegan. Two balls, 1 strike. Fastball, line drive, and boy, did that stagger the pitcher. Whew. Finnegan actually staggered away and off the mound. That bullet went right by his head.
Trace Thompson.
He ducks, staggers. Wow. Scary stuff. Kendrick, a line drive single. And the batter will be Trace Thompson. Dodgers with 2 hits. No runs, 2 hits for each side. Trace Thompson hitting .300 in his last 17 games. He has a little 3-game hitting streak. Takes a strike. 0-1. Homer the other day in San Diego. Thompson checking quickly with Chris Woodward. Waiting. Puig. But in front of him is Seager. 0-1. Finnegan almost threw that away. Nice save by Votto. Oh, 0-1 to Trace Thompson. No score. Bottom of the 4th. Fastball punched foul. 0-2 the count. Thompson has struck out 22 times. Not bad. Waiting is Corey Seager. They hit a bullet right at Joey Votto. Fastball misses. Dodgers made personnel moves. Ross Stripling, who pitched in the extra inning game, Dave Roberts sent him back to Oklahoma City for a little while. The rest is on. They brought up Mike Bolsinger. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and there goes Kendrick. It is taken outside, and the throw goes into center field, but no advancement by Kendrick. So Barnhart unable to prevent Kendrick from stealing second. Got a pretty good throw, but it ran out of gas. Phillips could not short hop it, but Kendrick made sure that he was safe. So had it been a better throw, there might have been a closer play. The Kendrick steals second, and a 2-2 count now to Trace Thompson with 1 out. No score in the 4th. And ball 3. Finnegan walked Kendrick in the 1st inning. Got a double play off Turner in the 3rd. And now here's Trace on a 3-2 count with Corey Seager on deck. Fastball line to center. Here comes Hamilton to make the catch. Though back to second base goes Kendrick. That ball was hit right on the button, but Billy was there. And now Corey Seager. Corey Seager hit the ball hard and lined out to Joey Votto in the 2nd inning. Line drive that Votto was down on his side as he caught it. Sinking line drive, and a fine play by Joey. 2 out, 4th inning, no score. Finnegan ready. Seager 0-1. Corey Seager really struggled in San Diego. He was 2 for 17. Now the strike 1 pitch. In the dirt, scrambling and not able to find it. Well, Barnhart allows Kendrick to move to 3rd. For the Reds, and it's always a sad thing to say about a ball club, but they are 15 games out of first place. The wild pitch advancing the runner. They have only won 3 games on the road. That's right, 3. So one way or another, Brian Price's ball club makes too many mistakes. One ball, 1 strike. Foul back. Seager may be fighting it a little bit. Kendrick single, stole second, wild pitch to 3rd, but 2 down. Clayton Kershaw singled in his plate appearance. Through 4, Clayton has struck out 1 and he has walked 1. 2-2 the count. Waiting on deck, Yasiel Puig, who struck out in the 2nd inning. No score in the 4th. Giants and Padres was scoreless last we heard in the 3rd. 2-2. Curveball, a one-hopper to the shortstop, Cozart, who throws him out. Cozart near the bag, otherwise that's a base hit. Instead, Seager is out. Kendrick is left at 3rd, and at the end of 4, no score. On Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo. Only at Jack in the Box. A picture out of the past. Steve Yeager trying to score. Johnny Bench all ready to tag him out. And Bill Russell holding the bat, trying to guide Yeager in safely, but he didn't make it. The Big Red Machine and the Big Blue Machine banging heads way back in the 70s. Fifth inning, no score. Adam Duvall to lead it off. And a strike, 0-1. Duvall hit a home run in his first at bat as a Red. He also hit a home run in his first major league game when he was with San Francisco. He homered off Mike Leake, and not too long later he and Leake swapped places. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-2. A.J. Ellis, we talked comparing him to Yadier Molina. Tough job at 35, but then again, a catcher's job is tough at any age. Fastball got him. So Duvall looking for anything but the fastball. For Kershaw, he's in the 5th inning, and if it isn't for Duvall, he would not have a strikeout. He has struck out Duvall twice, the only 2 strikeouts that he has. Now Jordan Pacheco, fly to left, 0 for 1. Not hitting much at 182. One ball and no strikes. Check swing. Pacheco playing third base. And a strike. Pacheco spent 4 or 5 years with the Rockies, then went over to the Diamondbacks, and now has surfaced with the Reds. And high fly ball to center. Easy start, put away by Thompson, and we have 2 down. Kershaw allowed a leadoff first pitch double to Zach Kozar and gave up a leadoff single to Barnhart in the 3rd. So he's allowed 2 hits. He has walked a batter, and he has struck out 2. So it's a totally different Kershaw game tonight. Fastball strike to Barnhart. And another strike. Kershaw now might be starting to loosen up, throwing back-to-back strikes almost for the first time tonight. 1-2. The Reds are a home run hitting team at home, not on the road. Change up got him. 72-mile-an-hour change. That's 3 strikeouts for Clayton, 2 in the inning, and now he's starting to look like a little more like Clayton Kershaw. Big slow rainbow, and at the end of 4 1/2, no score. game, it'll be Yasiel Puig, A.J. Ellis, and then Clayton Kershaw. Puig struck out in the second inning. They always say the hardest part of this game is between your ears, and especially when you're not doing well. As we mentioned, he's barely hitting 180 here, and you know he would love to put on a show. Off speed, popped in the air. Here comes Votto. Here comes Barnhart, but it's Votto to make the catch. And for Yasiel, a notorious first pitch hitter, pops it up. Nice play by Votto, one away. So you continue your Dodger retired numbers pin series collection June 4th. Dodgers face the Braves. The pin features number 20, Don Sutton, courtesy of 76. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Nice play by Votto. He's made a couple already. Ellis popped up. Second inning, 0 for 1. Looking at Brandon Finnegan and some of the things, hitters are hitting .543 against him on a 1-1 count. As we mentioned earlier, getting the right-hand hitters, getting them out, they're hitting .224, but they have 9 home runs against him. Off the plate, though, he's now 3-0 with Ellis. Kershaw on deck. And way off the plate. So Finnegan gives up a walk. He walked Kendrick in the first inning, so it's his second walk. And here comes Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw singled back in the third inning. He has a half a dozen hits this year. Most hits by a pitcher, Francisco Liriano has 7. Kershaw, Zach Greinke, Patrick Corbin 6, and Brandon Finnegan, the former college outfielder, has 5, along with Arrieta, Hamill, and Scherzer. Clayton shows bunt, then pulls the bat back. Yesterday he did that and grounded out to the second baseman. Chris Woodward perhaps hanging out a sign. 0-1. Fastball sprayed foul into the stands, and the count 0-2. So Clayton in a hole, 0-2, 1 out. Ellis at first, no score. Bottom of the 5th inning. Brandon Finnegan ready. Curveball grounded into the hole. Nice pick, but the play is in time. Boy, what a remarkable play by Zach Cozart. The Dodgers, I think, will ask for a review. Take another look. Kershaw squirts it in the hole. Cozart refuses to give up. Bang, bang play. Second base umpire Pat Holberg was there to call it. Yeah, that's right. Believe it or not, it looked like maybe he was safe, but he was definitely out. So that was a wonderful play by Zach Cozart. So Kershaw loses a hit. It's a force play, but a brilliant play by Zach Cozart. Wow. Not only getting into the hole, but able off balance to make that play to Phillips. 2 down. Kike Hernandez flied to center twice, 0 for 2. Fastball in the dirt. There goes Kershaw to second. The throw to Phillips is into right field. The Kershaw gets up. Billy Hamilton throwing it to third. He is safe at third. So the pitch is in the dirt. Koufax. Kershaw then moves on the bounce. The throw is going to go beyond Phillips into right field. Clayton gets up at second and continues all the way to third. So the Dodgers with a runner at third, 2 out, no score, 5th inning. Hernandez trying to pick him up. High fly ball into right center, but it is slicing into the glove of Jay Bruce. So after all of that, Kershaw winds up at third and left. A wild pitch and an error, and at the end of 5, no score. Day in 2002, Shawn Green had the game of his life. He had 4 home runs. He had a double and a single. That's 19 total bases. He drove in 7, and for good measure, he scored 6. The Dodgers defeated Milwaukee that day 16-3. Let's go back to this one. We have a tough ball game here. No score, 6th inning. It'll be the pitchers going head to head. We told you Brandon Finnegan is pretty good with the bat. He has 5 hits. Clayton has 6. So it's Finnegan, Cozart, and Hamilton. And what a magnificent play by Zach Cozart, the Red shortstop. Wow. So we'll see now about all that base running, if it has any effect on Kershaw. No runs, 2 hits for each side. Kershaw has 3 strikeouts and 1 walk in 5 innings. Well, he can go to 92 right away. Finnegan, as you see, a .263 batting average. Boy, he's up there taking his hacks. And a changeup drops in there to nail him. So after 92 and 94, Clayton comes back with 72. We're talking about what a big day this was for Shawn Green. Just turn the clock back for a minute. Imagine he hit 4 of them, and for good measure, He also had a double and a single, 19 total bases. He went 6 for 6. I mean, you want to talk about being a one-man gang. Meanwhile, here's Zach Kozar. Hit the first pitch of the game for a double and got as far as third. Grounded out since. So Kershaw, who had 1 strikeout in the first 4 innings, has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he has faced. Breaking ball hit to the hole, scooped up by Seager. 2 down.
Center fielder Billy Hamilton.
Billy Hamilton sacrificed and grounded out. With his speed and knowing how fast he runs, you're always inclined to think about a bunt. So Justin Turner is on the edge of the grass at third. Adrian has moved up a bit at first. And a strike. 0-1. From Taylorsville, Mississippi. Oh, 0-2. In his senior year in high school, he committed to a scholarship of football and baseball at Mississippi State. He was going to be a wide receiver. Boy, that was close. 1-2. Signed with the Reds for a bonus. Off speed, hit to the left. Seager has to hurry and gets him. So I would say Kershaw now is back on the beam. He's retired 8 in a row since the walk to Votto. And we're going to the bottom of the 6th. No score. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop online at choosenissan.com. The Dodgers won the World's Championship in 1959, celebrating at Vero Beach. Bud Holman, after whom the stadium was named, Walter Alston, and Walter Francis O'Malley. 'Tis a grand time it was. That's a strike to Justin Turner. Turner, Gonzalez, and Kendrick in that order. Oh and 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Brandon Kyle Finnegan doing a good job stride for stride with Clayton Kershaw. Breaking ball is up. Finnegan has one strikeout. That was Yasiel Puig back in the second. Kershaw is just starting to pick him up now and has 4. Fastball missed. 3-1. Finnegan has made 75 pitches. Kershaw has made 69. 3-1. 3-2. Turner struggling to get started. Average now under 230. Fastball way outside. So a leadoff walk to Turner.
First baseman,
Dodgers have only been able to get one leadoff man on base, and that was Clayton Kershaw, who singled in the 3rd inning. Otherwise, that first commandment for a pitcher, get the leadoff man, has certainly been followed by Finnegan. We can also tell you in a tough ball game up north, 6th inning, Padres and Giants, no score. Giants won yesterday 1-0 over the Cubs. Throw to first and off the glove of Votto and down the line. So Turner is around second and holds on a strong throw. It's amazing how bad teams find a way to self-destruct. Each time they have destructed, but they've been able to hang in there. This time the throw at first winds down, and for Barnhart, that's his 2nd error. It's also the 3rd error by Cincinnati. So the old story, we have met the enemy and they are us, and that would have to be true with Cincinnati. They've won only 3 games on the road, and they're 15 games behind the Cubs. Check swing, a little flare for a base hit. Stopping at 3rd is Turner. So there's a check swing by Gonzalez, and he winds up getting a base hit, which makes up in some ways for the line drives that are hit at people. Either way, he'll take one. So a check swing flare, and the Dodgers 1st and 3rd, and nobody out. Howie Kendrick walked and singled. Dodgers now close to breaking through. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Ball 1. And now Barnhart going out, perhaps to just slow Finnegan down a little bit. Brian Price. Votto holding a corner on Gonzalez. Turner down the line from 3rd. Nobody out. 6th inning, no score. Boy, the way Barnhart reacted, he almost thought that had not been touched as he broke from the plate. So Tucker back in there. 1-1 the count. Reds lost a wonderful catcher in Mesoraco when he got hurt. Caleb Gotham throwing in the pen. 2-1 the count. That meant there's no reflection on Barnhart, but Mesoraco, fine player. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fastball. 3-1 to Howie Kendrick, who has walked and singled. He was left at 3rd in the 4th inning. Fastball, a chopper to short. They will get one. They will get two. However, the run scores and the Dodgers lead 1-0. So 2 out. Trace Thompson will be coming up. Dodgers have hit into 2 double plays. Turner in the 3rd. Kendrick here in the 6th.
Come on, Trace.
We'll never know, of course, the throw by Barnhart trying to pick off Turner that let him go to 2nd. If he's still at 1st, the check swing puts runners at 1st and 2nd, and the double play puts a runner at 3rd with 2 out instead of a run on the board for the Dodgers. Hard ground ball off the glove of Pacheco, and a solid base hit by Thompson. Boy, he crushed that. One run, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Pacheco trying to react on a rocket, and it just got off the glove. So I'm sure it's been that way all year for the Reds. A little bit here, a little bit there, and you look up and you're losing. Seager has lined out Devato and grounded to short. Trace Thompson does not have a stolen base. Kershaw now has a run to lean on. Fastball strike. In looking at the various innings for Finnegan, he usually has trouble in the 1st inning and in the 2nd. Then in the 4th and in the 6th, his ERA would be 5.8. And the 7th inning, he destructs. So Brandon pitching very well for Brian Price. Oh, and 1. Fastball. For the Dodgers, very lucky that check swing base hit by Adrian Gonzalez turned out to be a huge play. Talking about it with Howie Kendrick. Kershaw a little restless. No balls, 2 strikes. There goes the runner. Off speed pitch. Throw down. Safe. So Thompson singles off the glove of Pacheco and now steals 2nd. 2 out, 1-0 favor the Dodgers. Throw just took a while to get down there. Cozart hoping he'd come off the bag, but he got a pretty good grip. All right, 1 and 2 to Seager. Puig on deck. Curveball, and that'll be that. So Seager strikes out. The Dodgers very fortunate to get a run. It all started with a walk to Turner, a check swing lucky base hit for Gonzalez, and it's 1-0 Dodgers. Ahead for the Dodgers. First of all, a very short homestand, 2 more games with Cincinnati, and then what a road trip. They go to New York to play the Mets, and from New York they go to Chicago to play the Cubs. Then they will come home, dig in, go up against Atlanta, Colorado, and then go on the road to San Francisco and Arizona. Joey Votto lined out and walked, 0 for 1. Votto off to a very slow start, and we all know he's a very good hitter. He hit .229 in April, 175 in May. Though not much at all. 1-1. Votto coming into the game had 5 hits, 2 home runs against Kershaw, but not much of an average. 2-1. Finnegan, who fought his way out of that 6th inning, made 18 pitches. He's now made 89 in the game. Kershaw's at 72. 2-1. Fastball on the corner. Kershaw had 1 strikeout through 4 innings, and he's picked up 3 in the last 2. 4 in the game. Curveball. 3-2. Votto has been a tremendous player. Brandon Phillips on deck. Check swing, down he goes. So Votto just can't get on track yet, and we have 1 down in the 7th inning. Take a look. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Strikes out for the first time for Clayton Kershaw. Strikeout number 5. He's now retired 9 in a row. Brandon Phillips grounded out, hit into a double play, came in with a .360 batting average against Kershaw, including a home run. And ball 1. 1 run, 4 hits for the Dodgers, no runs, 2 hits for the Reds. Dodgers beat the Reds 6 straight times last year. Cincinnati is trying to shake a 7-game losing streak. 1-1. Brandon followed by Jay Bruce. Fastball hit to third. Justin Turner gets it over, and we have 2 down. So that's 10 in a row retired by Clayton. Jay Bruce twice hitting the ball to Adrian Gonzalez. Big boy, definitely a pull hitter, and they stack up the right side again. Stroke right to Gonzalez. So 3 times he's hit the ball to Adrian, and he's 0 for 3. That's 11 in a row retired by Kershaw, who is certainly back on the beam. And at the end of 6.5, 1-0 Dodgers. Hold on to that ball. 1-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 7th. Yasiel Puig begins it. Ground ball into right field for a base hit. So Puig had struck out and fouled out, still going after the first pitch, and singles to right. For the Dodgers now, 5 hits against Brandon Finnegan. A.J. Ellis popped up, walked. For the Dodgers, they see their ace Kershaw, who struggled a little bit. I mean, you say he struggled. He gave up 2 hits and a walk in 4 innings, but he wasn't striking out people. Well, since then, Kershaw now has 5 strikeouts, and he has retired 11 in a row. Finnegan has done very, very well. He was unlucky in the 6th inning when the Dodgers got a run. And ball 1. Finnegan making 91 pitches in the 7th. One ball and no strikes. Puig at first, and draws the throw. Yasiel Puig has stolen 4 out of 5. Bottom of the lineup. Ellis, the 8th man. Kershaw on deck. Chopper to Phillips. They get 1. They will get 2. So the Dodgers struggling against young Brandon Finnegan. You know, you can celebrate Dodger pitching great. Don Newcomb's 90th birthday. That'll be Wednesday, June 8th. The first 40,000 fans in attendance receive a Don Newcomb bobblehead presented by United Healthcare. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. So Ellis hits into the double play, 2 down, and here's Kershaw, singled and hit into a force play. Dodgers have hit into 3 double plays tonight. I'll tell you one thing. They don't need excuses to be made for them, but they have got to be tired. Turner and company, and Ellis, and everybody else who went through that grueling 28 innings at night and day. As O'Neill wrote, long day's journey into night. That's a strike. And Puig is hurting one way or another. Ball 3. Brandon Finnegan has done a wonderful job going up against Clayton Kershaw and a far better team. That's a strike. 3-2. Finnegan walked Kendrick in the 1st inning and walked Ellis in the 5th. Fastball cutting across easily as Pacheco to make the play. So a fine 7 innings turned in by the young Brandon Finnegan. Outside of a check swing by Adrian Gonzalez, he might be even, but it's 1-0 Dodgers. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com. And by Children's Hospital Los Angeles. We treat kids better. 8th inning, 1-0 favor of the Dodgers. Great performance by Brandon Finnegan. He needs a pat on the back from Billy Hatcher. A great performance. Again, the check swing by Gonzalez. A bloop single really set up the inning in the 6th and the only run. Popped in the air, foul. Gonzalez coming over, no play. We were talking a moment ago about the Dodgers being tired. San Diego has to be tired, and they're in San Francisco, and their game no score, bottom of the 7th. So the Padres going through the same thing. However, the Dodgers have Kershaw. Drew Pomeranz is pitching a dandy against Johnny Cueto. Off speed, straight change. Duvall almost coming out of his shoes. He has struck out twice. Oh, and 1 to Adam. So 2 of Kershaw's 5 strikeouts have been Duvall. 1-2. Reds on the road, 3 wins, 14 losses. All right. So Duvall strikes out 3 times. 6 strikeouts for Clayton.
Third baseman number 15, Jordan Pacheco.
Jordan Pacheco coming up. Pacheco flied to left, flied to center, 0 for 2. Daniel Wright and Mike Bolsinger tomorrow night. Kazmir and Straley Wednesday night. Good fastball at 94. Pacheco couldn't get around on it. Oh, and 1. One and 1. Breaking ball, drops that in beautifully. Up there, down there. Kershaw trying to win his 7th. He's lost 1. Trying to win 5 straight. Another strike. 7 strikeouts now for Clayton. Though he's working in a rush now. After going 4 innings with 1 strikeout, he has struck out 6 since. They give him 7. Tucker Barnhart, the catcher, has had a rough night. With the bat, he has singled and struck out. Crack bat, little ground ball to Gonzalez. That'll be that. So that's 14 in a row retired by Kershaw. And at the end of 7.5, 1-0 Dodgers. Brandon Finnegan is still in there. He has done a marvelous job pitch for pitch. The rookie going up against Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw has made 88 pitches. Young Finnegan has made 98. The big play, the run came in the 6th. Turner walked. An error got him to second. A check swing bloop for a base hit by Gonzalez put runners at first and third. Kendrick hit into a double play and the only run scored. So Finnegan has done a tremendous job. Now working on Hernandez, Turner, and Gonzalez. First pitch, fly ball to shallow center, and the wispy Billy Hamilton went away. MLB.TV Premium, that's the #1 live streaming sports service. It delivers every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 devices. Includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. So Hernandez, first ball swinging, pops it up, and here's Turner, who hits much better after the 7th inning. Ball 1. Turner flied to right, hit into a double play, walked, and scored the Dodger run in the 6th inning. The only run of the game. They're scoreless up north in San Francisco. Last we checked, bottom of the 7th, zip zip. San Diego coming up in the 8th. Drew Pomeranz for San Diego, Johnny Cueto for the Giants. When the Reds come up in the 9th inning, Finnegan is due to lead off. And ball 4, so Turner walks for the 2nd time. And with 1 out, Adrian Gonzalez. The paid attendance tonight, 42,519. 42,519. Down in the pen, J.C. Ramirez, stringy right-hander, getting ready. Gonzalez reached on an error by Phillips, flied to left, and then got that check swing. It was almost a tennis shot, and blooped it over the head of third baseman Pacheco for a base hit. That's the key. So Brandon Finnegan, the Dodgers might not have ever heard of him before. He was with Kansas City, came here in the deal that sent Cueto to Kansas City. And in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gonzalez came in hitting .281, and he is 1 for 3. And I think he was trying to take that the other way. With a runner at first, the Reds still have loaded up the bases. They've committed. They have Phillips on the other side of the bag. Now the shortstop, seeing that stroke by Adrian, he was trying to go the other way. So the shortstop has moved far over to his left. 1 and 2. And look at that. Like real estate, location, location, location. No runs, no hits, nothing else. And at the end of 8, 1-0 Dodgers. Takes a 1-0 lead into the 9th inning, and Eugenio Suarez will bat for Brandon Finnegan. So it was David and Goliath, and right now Goliath is leading, but David sure gave him a challenge tonight. So here's Suarez. He'll be followed by Cozart and then Hamilton. Eugenio is 0 for his last 13 at bats. He once went 0 for 16. He had a little 7-game hitting streak early, but he does lead the club with 9 home runs. Sliced foul, 0-1 to count. And Suarez needing another bat apparently. So what a performance by Brandon Finnegan. That has to really pump up his confidence. They had lost 6 straight of his games, but he pitched a dandy tonight. 1 half swing check bloop single by Adrian Gonzalez. Another thing he did, he thoroughly frustrated the Dodgers. They hit into 4 double plays tonight. 4. Turner, Gonzalez, Kendrick, and Ellis all hit into double plays. Suarez from Venezuela, 5'11", 205 pounder. Had 13 home runs last year with the Reds. In the dirt, 1-1. Suarez, a switch hitter. And a strike. And ground ball to the hole, backhanded by Seager. Long throw on a bounce. Got him. So a nice play by Corey to backhand it deep in the hole. Had a set on the, just had time to set, and a bouncer in time. One out, 9th inning. The Reds do not have a shutout from their staff. They're on the edge of being shut out again for the 4th time. Interesting, their other 3 shutouts were at home. Fouled away. Zach Cozart swung at the very first pitch of the game. The national anthem was still leaving the area, and he doubled the left. He was sacrificed to third, and Votto hit a bullet at Seager. Otherwise they score and we're tied. Now that was a big play in the first inning. The infield is up with 1 out, and Votto couldn't hit the ball much harder, but right at Seager. That was the best and only chance the Reds had of scoring. Meanwhile, Kershaw just started to pick up steam. He's now retired 15 in a row. One and two. Fastball just off the edge. Cozart showing great discipline to lay off that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And hit to the hole. 1 hopper, backhanded by Seager. 2 down. So Kershaw and the Dodgers are 1 out away from coming home and getting a shutout against the Reds. The Reds are 1 out away from losing their 8th in a row. Latest up north, still scoreless. They're in the top of the 8th inning. Kershaw trying to win his 5th in a row. Dodgers will have won 9 of his 10 starts. Good pitch 0-1. Hamilton sacrificed, grounded to third, grounded to short. Ground foul. So Clayton now has him 0-2. The one man you certainly don't want to see in this kind of a game is Joey Votto on deck. Kershaw has been so efficient. He has had 16 ground balls. Fastball, defensive swing to just stay alive up there. Hamilton has speed, no power. He has 1 home run. Curveball hit in the air. Puig comes up for it. That'll do it. So maybe it wasn't the Kershaw that strikes out 11, but it was a masterful performance. It took him a little while, and going up against a weak hitting team like the Reds, he had the comfort of taking a little while, and then once he kicked it into gear, there was no contest. He wound up retiring 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17 in a row. He made 102 pitches. Clayton Kershaw is now 7-1, and he has won 5 straight. More importantly, the Dodgers have now won 9 of his last 10 starts. What's the fly in the ointment? The Dodgers are 22-36, 14 games under 500 when anyone else is pitching. So the Dodgers win. Tomorrow night we'll start all over again with Mike Bolsinger. Until then, we wish you all a very pleasant good evening, everybody.